Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Don Schmidt. I'm the President and Chief Executive Officer of Durado Exploration. We're here in Dallas, Texas this morning on February the 27th to bring you an update about our 2006 and 2007 operations. However, before we go on and I introduce you to any of my staff members or my management who are going to give you some information today, I must caution you, under SEC regulations, this is not an attempt to sell a security, and you may not rely upon anything we say herein to purchase a security. I know that we have a disclaimer that's going to appear on your screen in a minute. Please take a moment to read that disclaimer. In the event that you ever would like to invest in Durado Exploration, you must rely upon the advice of your financial professionals and your legal counsel, as well as any written documentation that's specifically published for the purpose of the sale of a security. I'm here with the staff of our Dallas office this morning, as well as a number of our management team from our Houston office, in order to talk to you about our 2006 results, as well as our expectations for 2007. Mr. Tim Wofford and myself have traveled around the country the last couple of weeks, and we've met a number of investors. However, we have not met all of you. We're doing a webcast in order to give you an opportunity to see us and hopefully have a better appreciation for who we are and what we do. We're also taking the opportunity to let you hear from some of our line staff members and how they do their job. This webcast is an opportunity for you to understand our business and hopefully be a long-term investor with Durado Exploration. This morning, we're going to cover a number of areas. We're going to talk about our corporate philosophy. We're going to give you an operations update. We're going to talk about our land acquisition activities, and we're going to talk about our future drilling activities. Finally, you'll have a short legal update. At the close of our webcast, you will hear from me again. I'll talk to you about the conclusion of our $5 million private placement, as well as the start of our $3 million private placement that begins tomorrow. Finally, and most importantly to you, is we will talk about our public registration and its status. We're going to hear from four of our officers. First, Tim Wofford, co-founder and chief operating officer, is going to talk to you about our operating strategy. Then you'll hear from Wanda Smith, land manager. Wanda will tell you what makes our land department so unique and why it's so important to Durado. You'll then hear from Tom Schaefer, who's our executive vice president. Tom's going to talk to you about what we do in the field and why we do it better than some of our competitors. Finally, you'll hear Penny Schmidt. Penny's the general counsel of the corporation, and she's going to give you a brief update.
My name is Tim Wofford. I'm the chief operating officer of Durado Exploration. Additionally, I'm a co-founder of the company along with Don Schmidt. The corporate strategy that we've developed at Durado Exploration is based upon decades and decades of experience in East Texas. We have found, based on analysis of our competitors in the industry, that companies that can consistently find and exploit natural gas reserves are afforded much greater valuations than companies that explore for and periodically find natural gas reserves. To that effect, we focus on the unconventional resource plays in the Cotton Valley in East Texas. As demonstrated over the last 6 months of drilling activities at Durado Exploration, we have successfully and consistently added approximately 3.5 billion cubic feet of proved reserves per well drilled. I believe that we will see these results carried throughout the 2007 and 2008 drilling programs. In developing the strategy that we have adopted at Durado Exploration, two of the companies that I've analyzed thoroughly are GMX Resources and Goodrich Petroleum. Both of those companies are publicly traded, and significant amount of information is available on both of them in the public domain. What we've attempted to do, and I believe that we are implementing effectively, is to take the good things that they've done and avoid some of the mistakes or challenges that they've had. Both companies operate almost exclusively in East Texas. They both drill and complete wells in East Texas. To that extent, we are very similar to both GMX and Goodrich. What I believe that we do better, and this is based on information that they provide in the public domain, reserves created per wells drilled is approximately 20% higher at Durado. Additionally, our Some of the key metrics that we have are spud to sales, and spudding being the day that we stick the bit in the ground when we drill a new well. So from the time we start drilling a new well until we put gas down the pipeline in sales, we're currently averaging 29 days. Our competitors have published in excess of 60 days in their public filings.
My name is Wanda Smith, and I'm the manager of the Land Department at Durado Exploration. Unlike the land departments in most traditional oil and gas companies, Durado is different in that we mostly are staffed with licensed attorneys. This allows us to do title research, draft legal documents, understand the ramifications of the documents that we're drafting, and know what kind of curative steps need to be done in order to ensure clear chain of title to our drill sites. The quality of people in the land department at Durado allows us to take an interdisciplinary approach to problem solving because each person has so many different skills. They are able to work in the courthouse, work at the mapping station, or do research and draft legal documents. This gives us a competitive advantage because the people working in our department can think outside the box. They have wider experience. They have better education, and they're able to bring far better problem-solving skills to the table. Within a matter of hours, we are able to provide coordinated information to our Houston office, our Tyler office, and our field office in East Texas so that they can better make informed decisions in a timely manner. This positions us better to make far faster decisions than our competition. Since July of 2006, the Land Department has acquired more than 4,300 acres in our East Texas development plan. The combination of our personnel and use of state-of-the-art technology in the Land Department allows us to identify, assess, and acquire acreage before competition is even aware it is available for acquisition.
My name is Tom Schaefer, and I am the Executive Vice President of Durado Exploration. I'm responsible for overseeing the acquisition, working with the Land Department and with Tim in the acquisition of our properties, assuring the proper design and installation of infrastructure that ranges from roads to location pads, the drilling and completion of all of our wells, and then the ultimate turning to production of these wells. Some of the key things that we do are proper planning so that we can execute our drilling operations below budget and achieve successful usable well bores. We assure that we understand our reservoir enough to adequately reach it through our completion operations and ultimately put on more gas than our competition in a shorter time frame. Those are the keys to the success on the operations. To that end, we've drilled 8 wells in the Cotton Valley and completed 7 of them. The 8th well that we are currently drilling will be completed shortly. All of our wells have become increasingly more efficient in the drilling operations with us setting, in fact, a record in Panola County for the deepest well drilled with 3 bits. We've carried that same amount of efficiency over to Rusk County, where we are able to perform in an area that took one operator 13 bits to drill a well. We've reduced that to 5. On the completion side, we've also seen increases in efficiency, with our first wells ranging in the 1 BCF ultimate recovery range, and now we're seeing wells that could be as high as 1.6 to 1.8 BCF, and we're getting better as we go. How does this happen? A thorough planning effort, a great understanding of the technology that's available in our area, and a continued effort to find and hire the brightest people and give them the leeway that they need to execute flawlessly. This year we've been able to acquire quite a bit of good acreage working with the Land Department. We've been able to refine our development philosophy, define how we look at acreage, and give them the tools they need to quickly make decisions on which acreage we go for. Our growth has been substantial this year. We feel that we can keep it up. I have great confidence that we can keep acquiring profitable and rich acreage. And to that end, I think that we have the opportunity to build our development program by adding a rig this year in 2007 and to continue adding rigs at the pace that is adequate for our company and aligns with the Land Department's abilities. 2006 has given us the opportunity to prove our model. This being my first time to drill in East Texas, there were a lot of questions that needed to be answered about techniques, specific drilling assemblies, rigs, personnel. And I believe that we've aligned the right team, we've designed the right processes that will allow us to grow into a program approach, much as I've done with companies such as BP and ConocoPhillips. This program approach should allow us to reduce costs even further. Multiple rigs allow for economy of scale, reduction in manpower per rig, per foot drilled, per MCF produced, and ultimately, as I said, a reduction in cost, an increase in efficiency, better wells come to market, we're able to sell more gas with a relatively small team. So specifically in 2007, I do believe that we will add a rig in midsummer. We have the potential to add another rig at the end of the year and handle it. We have the personnel, we've identified the positions that need to be added, and we are very confident in our model, our techniques, our land department, and the company's ability to keep up with it. One of the exciting things about Durado is that we are able to attract the best minds in the business. As a young, growing company, we provide an exhilarating environment, a place where they can come to work every day and feel a new challenge, feel that they have the room to grow and they can watch the company grow from their contribution. To that end, 2007, 2008, a big focus of ours will be recruiting that talent and making sure that we keep them excited about what they're doing and keep the company growing at the pace that it is.
First conceptualized Durado, we realized that we had to do certain things extremely well. I call these our core competencies. I'm going to define our core competencies as prospect identification and origination. We really go out and understand and analyze where our next drilling location is going to be, where our next drilling program is going to come from. We do that work ourselves. That's very important and critical to our success. We acquire acreage and we manage the acquisition and ownership of that acreage internally. We do not trust this to anyone else. We participate in joint venture project development. That allows us to pull in the best of the best expertise from whatever source we can find it. We also are extremely proficient at drilling and completion operations. It's only through the drill bit that we're able to grow, successfully able to grow, our reserves base and our production base. And once we've established that production, we manage that production. We manage it through facilities maintenance, pipeline maintenance, compression. We do not depend on other companies, other people to do these operations for us, as they are core to our very success. And the last thing that I would like to add that we do extremely well as a core competency is reserves management, because it's reserves management, the actual gas in the ground, that adds value to Durado exploration. Prior to the initiation of our 2006 drilling program, we began phase 1 of our acreage acquisition program. Phase 1, I'd targeted 3,600 acres to acquire. This would give us potentially 90 locations on 40-acre spacing to drill Cotton Valley wells, exposing us to 75 billion cubic feet of natural gas reserves. We successfully accomplished and closed out phase 1 in I believe, December of 2006. We moved on to phase 2, which is an additional 3,600 acre program acquisition. That will give us a total of 7,200 acres, 180 drilling locations on 40-acre spacing, and exposure to 150,000 BCF of natural gas. Joint venture project development is integral to the success of Durado exploration. I mentioned that earlier as a core competency. One of the ways we've implemented this, and really one of the most important ways we've implemented this at Durado Exploration, is through our relationship with Ramshorn Investments, Inc. Ramshorn is a wholly owned subsidiary of Nabors Industries, the largest drilling contractor in the world. This relationship ensures that we'll have rigs available to us when other companies may not have the luxury of having rigs available to them. In addition to ensuring the availability of rigs to Durado when other companies may not have this luxury and this necessity, as drilling rigs are the equipment that we use to grow our production base and grow our reserves base, our relationship with Ramshorn allows us to forego the $10 million letter of credit that is required anytime a drilling contract is taken. Our core competencies will allow us to function in a one-rig environment and then very easily transition to a 3, 5, 7, maybe even a 9-rig environment in the very near future and still keep our eye on those items that create true value for our shareholders.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Penny Schmidt. I'm General Counsel of Durado Exploration. I just want to briefly touch on a few matters with you this morning. The first is Durado's corporate structure. The entity in which you bought shares is Durado Exploration, Inc. It is a Maryland corporation. However, it is also licensed to do business in Texas, Alabama, and Louisiana. You will hear us refer generically to Durado. However, I want you to be aware that there are several Durado companies. The first one is Durado Operating, Inc. This is a wholly owned subsidiary of Durado Exploration, Inc. This company operates our drilling activities currently in East Texas. It is a Texas corporation, but it is also licensed to do business in Alabama and Louisiana. The second entity, which you may hear about, is Durado Beckville I, a limited partnership. Durado Beckville entered into the Petrobridge contract and owns the property which are currently being drilled in Rusk and Panola counties. And third is Durado Exploration I, a limited liability company. This entity is used to enter into things such as commercial leasehold space for our offices. Finally, I want to discuss with you litigation. We are currently involved in only one piece of litigation. This is the fee dispute over commissions under a contract. If you are contacted about this litigation, please do not talk to the person who contacts you and call me immediately and let me know who contacted you and the date and the time.
I know you're excited about what you just heard, and I am too. And I've got a few comments about what you heard from Tim Wofford, Tom Schaefer, and Wanda Smith. However, before we talk about that, I'd like to bring you up to date on where we are with our stock offerings. As you're aware, everyone that's listening to this webcast has an investment in Durado through our $1 preferred convertible common stock. That offering was closed successfully in December for a total amount of $5 million. As a matter of course, we'll be circulating a final offering memorandum for your review prior to officially closing that offering. Once you have that memorandum in your hand, please review it for accuracies and please call us if you have any questions. Otherwise, that offering is finished and we would like to give all of you a big hearty thanks for helping us get to where we are by investing in our initial stock offering. In December of 2006, our board of directors came to Dallas, Texas to talk about our 2006 successes and what we expected in 2007, much as we are doing with you today. During that meeting, we broached the subject that we were seeing a number of opportunities in land acquisitions that we were not capitalized to take advantage of. As such, after much deliberation, the board of directors voted to issue a new private placement memorandum offering common stock to the public at $3. Although we're not going to talk about the terms of that stock offering today, you will be receiving a private placement memorandum in the mail for your consideration. If you have questions, please contact me or my staff here in Dallas or contact your investment professional or your representative. You have to be excited about the results from 2006 and the expectation for 2007, just as I am. But I have to believe that everyone who's watching this webcast has one question in mind. When will Durado Exploration be a publicly traded company? You'll have to recall that when we first started selling our preferred stock, our expectation was we would trade on the bulletin board and we'd do a small public offering. However, as we had success at the drill bit, we've raised our expectation and we've garnered additional attention. In the last quarter of 2006, I've spent an inordinate amount of time deciding whether or not we should trade on the Amex or the NASDAQ. In addition, we've also spent time talking to a number of major investment bankers and underwriters, a number of whom you would recognize from the business page of your local paper or from the Wall Street Journal. Sometime in 2007, my expectation is that we will do a significant public offering. We're working toward this every day. The goal in mind that we have as management at Durado Exploration is to get the most value for your stock. I'd like to give you a firm date, however it's not practical to do so. Rest assured, it's my #1 job at Durado Exploration, that is to get us publicly traded. Two years ago, Tim Wofford and myself had a dream. That was to start a public oil and gas company. Today, with your help, we've almost realized that dream. We have over 160 investors. We have 24 full-time employees. We have a full-time rig under contract. We have numerous contractors and vendors who help us every day. Thanks to you, our company is growing, and we expect it to grow larger. I realize that you may not have gotten all your questions answered today in our webcast. If that's the case, I invite you to attend our live question and answer session Tuesday, March the 6th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Once again, I hope that you realize from this webcast that we don't only have a good business model, but that we have a very sound team of professionals who work hard every day on your behalf. Once again, thank you for attending our webcast.